Welcome to the Winston Salem Eldercare channel, brought to you by Greg Brewer and the good folks of Right at Home Winston-Salem. Today's guest is Miss Aimee Smith, elder law attorney with Craig, Jenkins, Lipford, and Walker.
Well, welcome to the Winston-Salem Eldercare channel. I'm Greg Brewer, your host, and today I have with me Aimee Smith from Craig, Jenkins, Lipford, and Walker, a local elder attorney law firm. Welcome, Aimee.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming, and I look forward to our discussion to help our audience understand better what elder attorneys do.
Okay.
I have a couple questions for you. How long has your organization been in business?
Well, Greg, we are actually North Carolina's oldest continuously operating law firm, and we have been in business for 184 years.
Wow.
Since 1832. Now, obviously, we have not been doing elder law all that time, since elder law is fairly new practice of law. Came about maybe 20, 25 years ago. So we've been around a while.
Okay. Well, great. So I didn't know that. It's a historical organization.
Yeah.
So define for our audience, what's your market? Who do you service? Is it all over North Carolina? Is it just one county?
Well, first of all, we practice in several different practice areas. We have 18 attorneys. There are three of us that do primarily elder law. And our elder law practice is pretty much regional. So we're in Forsyth County. We have clients in Guilford and Stokes and Davidson, Davie, Surrey. You know, the counties around Forsyth County.
Okay.
We also do special needs trust administration, which is sort of related to elder law in a way because it involves disabled people who have a lot of the same needs as elderly people sometimes do. And we have clients in our special needs trust administration department all across the state. Across the state.
Well, fantastic. What's your typical client like? Is there a profile for them or?
Yes, there's definitely a profile. There's a few profiles.
Okay.
Our most common client is typically a married couple. Usually with one spouse who has a chronic illness or has been diagnosed with a chronic illness such as Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, or maybe they've had a stroke, so it's something that's come on suddenly, or they've fallen and broken a bone. And so we have one spouse who needs care or will need care, one spouse who's still at home doing okay.
Okay.
And so once they get into those long-term care costs, or they see them coming down the road, then they come see someone like me to see about how they can structure their assets to possibly get help paying for the nursing home or in-home care, either through veterans benefits or Medicaid or some other programs that may be available. Sometimes they have long-term care insurance and we help them through the claims process. Sometimes people come ahead of time. That's kind of unusual.
But I imagine it's good though. You welcome that, right? You welcome people planning in advance to anticipate maybe some needs down the road.
It's very important to plan in advance. Unfortunately, most people don't think about it unless they've been through it with their own parents.
I see.
But if someone comes to us when there's already an illness or a stroke, we call that crisis planning. And but what we really like, where we can do the most for people is advanced planning.
I see.
So.
And that's because you would have the luxury of time, and they're not under some sort of crunch,
right,
to get the immediate needs met, I'd imagine.
Right. One of the common things that clients want to do is give their home to their children.
Oh.
And you really have to plan far ahead to do that. I'm talking at least 5 years ahead, just because of the way the Medicaid rules
5
are.
years, wow.
Yeah, there's a 5-year look back for Medicaid
Okay,
for gifts.
okay.
So people really need to come in way ahead of time if they want to do something like that.
Well, Aimee, this is kind of right on cue, but can you think of a particular case and maybe walk us through it where you actually helped the family and what did they have to go through to accomplish their goal? Just so our audience can kind of understand what somebody would go through in utilizing your services.
Mm-hmm. So a typical case, and the one I'm thinking of in particular, the husband had gone into long-term care as a result of having a stroke, and of course he was the breadwinner, so he had the larger Social Security check and the retirement accounts and things like that. And his wife came to see me after he had already gone to the nursing home, so it was a crisis situation, and his Medicare days ran out, which people don't understand about Medicare, that it only pays for maybe 100 days of a nursing home. And she had gotten the nursing home bill for, I think it was $8,000, and
Wow.
realized, we've got to do something. So basically what we did is we sat down and figured out what we could do with her assets within the Medicaid rules that would assure that she had money to live on, and got assistance with his nursing home bill through basically a combination of spend down and using an annuity to create an income stream for her to replace his income, which was now going to the nursing home. Because most of the time, even if someone is receiving help from Medicaid, they are still responsible for using their income.
I see.
For helping to pay for their bill.
Their
daily
expenses
at the nursing home.
Okay.
So using the annuity to help replace some of her income was a big help to her.
Oh, okay.
And that was actually one of my first clients, and I can't even tell you how many people that lady has referred to me, because she was so pleased that, what all we were able to do for her.
And how long does this process take typically that you just described?
It really depends on what assets the people have, if they have the proper estate planning documents in place, like a good power of attorney. If they don't have a good power of attorney and their spouse is now incapacitated and can't legally handle their own affairs, can't sign their name anymore, then we're kind of in a pickle. It's going to take a lot longer then, because we're going to have to involve the court and possibly get a guardian for that person.
I see.
But with a good power of attorney in place, or 2 competent people, we can get rolling on that pretty quick. And
Okay.
Depending on what they have, we just in a matter of 2 to 3 months have things spent down and services in place. Now, with things like the VA, it's going to take longer.
That's a Veterans Administration.
Yeah, the Veterans Administration benefits.
Mhm.
That's going to be a longer process,
Longer
just
process.
because they're slower.
Yes.
And
That's
they have
the
a
nature of the process.
Backlog.
Now,
Yeah.
if somebody in our audience has a mom or dad in another state, would you be able to help them?
The only way that I could help them is maybe giving them a recommendation to an elder law attorney in their
In that
state.
Okay.
There is a National Academy of Elder Law Attorneys, and I'm a member of it, and we do get a membership directory, so I could possibly refer them to someone in another state.
Okay.
But most of the programs that I'm talking about, they're a little bit different in each state, with
Okay.
the exception of veterans benefits. They're standard across the board.
Is there anything that you could tell our audience that your law firm does differently than others out there who may be providing elder care advice?
Well, we're a full service firm.
Meaning that you have other areas of expertise.
We have other areas of expertise, so
Mhm.
pretty much anything that may come up, we have attorneys there who are in that field,
I see.
be it income taxes, real estate,
Mhm.
hopefully not litigation, but
Sometimes, possibly.
yeah.
That's good.
Probate
That's good to know.
administration, yep.
Mhm.
But also we, I think, provide a higher level of service than some firms may. Some firms can tell you do X, Y, and Z to get eligible for Medicaid, but they're not actually going to go and apply for Medicaid and see the process all the way through because they don't do that.
Right.
But we do.
Okay, good. So in a lot of ways, using a layman's terminology, you are somewhat of a one-stop shop kind of
Yes.
legal firm,
Yes.
so that people can come and get their needs met in a variety of areas.
Yes.
Would that be fair to say?
Yes. I would.
Well, Aimee, I have one last question for you. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience about your firm, or anything at all that you think that they should be aware of or know?
Well, our firm is located here in Winston-Salem. We're over on 110 Oakwood Drive, right by Thruway Shopping Center.
Okay.
And we have a website.
Could you share with that?
It's www.craigjenkins.com. And our phone number is 336-725-2900.
Great. Well, Aimee, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to share with our audience, and we hope that you're going to be able to get some help from the law firm as needed. Please feel free to give them a call. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Winston-Salem Eldercare channel.